Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Let's see, I have Mr. Haddad in court with me today. We have a number of people in court also. It's right at 9 o'clock. I don't see too many people on the line, so I'm going to address everybody individually as we go through. Let me just go ahead and call the calendar this morning and see who's here, and then we'll progress from there. This is the Orca City Status Conference calendar. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Eric Morrow and will be presiding over court this morning. Position number one, DeYancy Bailey.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wanda Gant on behalf of Mr. Bailey. Currently, he is in custody, Your Honor. However, in reviewing the file, it appears that we may be able to resolve this case, but I would request a pretrial with an ASG.
Okay, whose case is this?
That would be my case, Your Honor.
Morning, Ms. Riley.
Good
Okay.
morning.
So we'll, when we get to the end of the calendar, Ms. Gant, we'll put you in a breakout room with Ms. Riley.
Thank you.
Position two, Christian Chapman. Mr. Chapman present. All of these cases, it's my understanding, have been on the calendar before they were reset to the status conference calendar. It is a little after 9. What's your pleasure, Ms. Riley?
Your Honor, the state would ask for a bench warrant. It appears as though the cases are already in bench warrant status.
Okay. Bench warrant granted.
Thank you.
Position 3, Corey Clopton. I believe Mr. Clopton's here in person with me. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. Wanda Gant appearing on behalf.
Okay. And we're going to have Mr. Haddad speak with him, Ms. Gant.
I have spoken with him. I would like to have pretrial.
Okay. Is this your case also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And is it going to be you, Ms. Riley, and Ms. Guthier this morning?
And Ms. Marshall Story.
Okay.
I have positions 1 through 8 on this calendar, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 6, Torrance Cox. Mr. Cox should be on Zoom. Good morning, Mr. Cox. I have already spoken with Mr. Haddad about your case. He has requested a jury trial in this matter. So the case will be returned to the division judge, and you and counsel will get notification of your next hearing date, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a good day, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Erica Marshall Story. This was actually my case.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Marshall Story.
Good morning.
Position 5, Artaii Driver, Artaii Driver. What's the state's pleasure?
The state would request a bench warrant, Your Honor.
Granted. Position 6, Glenn Ellis. Glenn Ellis.
State would request a bench warrant.
Bench warrant granted. Position 7, Naquan Fadrell. It's an interference with custody case. Ms. Riley, what's your pleasure?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would also request a bench warrant. I did speak with Mr. Friedel, and he knew that he was supposed to show proof and in order to take care of this case. And he knew well in advance of this court date because he was recently.
Mr. Cox, you're free to leave. I'm sorry, Ms. Riley.
No problem, Your Honor. So yes, the state would request a bench warrant because he was given his court date when he was last in court.
Okay. Bench warrant will be granted. Position 8, Zachary Harris. Good morning, Mr. Harris. Let's see. Would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender this morning to represent you? They told me I didn't qualify. Okay, I'll be with you, sir. Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Position 9, Antonio Holland. Is Mr. Holland present? Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Lamar Holmes, Ms. Gill, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Defendant has,
Sorry, sweetie.
you're fine. Defendant has a second accused case, and we are requesting a continuance and that both of the cases be placed on the same calendar.
Okay, does September 14th work for council?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gill?
Let me check. September. Yes, Your Honor, that works for me as well.
Okay, so we'll reset this for September 14th. Okay, is that your only matter before me, Ms. Gill?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
And you also, Mr. Holmes. Position 11, Abraham Johnson. Mr. Johnson present, we reset him before to hire an attorney.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you.
Position 12, Tristan Joyner. Is Mr. Joyner with us? Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 13, Jaquavis Jones.
Yeah, Wanda again on behalf of Mr. Jones. He is in custody. However, I would like to have pretrial as there appears to be a plea and offer in the record from a while ago.
Okay, and this is your case, Ms. Marshall Story?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. I'm happy to speak to Ms. Gant.
Okay, thank you. Position 14, William Kemp. Mr. Kemp present. Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you.
Position 15, Aisha Lewis.
Good morning, Judge. This is Samad Mubin for Ms. Lewis.
Good morning.
Judge, I've been working with the state. We actually had this case continued previously. I had no discovery. Since then, I've gotten it. However, there's a video. We received that on the 25th. Part of it's actually missing. We don't know if it doesn't exist or if it just hasn't been turned over yet. That's going to impact how we go forward with this case. We've gotten an offer. It's a reasonable offer. We may want to resolve it. We just asked for a very short reset to see if that video exists, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state is in agreement. We have forwarded the body cam video, but there may be dash cam that I'm not aware of. And so with all due diligence, I want to confirm whether or not there is dash cam video. And we will take care of that with haste.
Okay, September 14th work for both of you?
I could just have one moment, Judge, please.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, I'd have a conflict. I could log in at approximately 9:45, if that's okay. I don't know how long your calendar would go on for.
I'm sorry, I didn't, say it again.
Sorry, Judge. I've got a conflict that morning. However, I could log in by 9:45, assuming your calendar is still going on at that time.
Okay. Why don't we do that? Reset you for September 14th. At least we'll shoot for then. And if you continue to have a conflict, we will adjust at that time. Okay.
Of course, Judge. And again, I should be able to make it just a little bit later.
Okay, very good. So we'll reset Ms. Lewis until September 14th at 9. Okay. Anything further, counsel?
That's all I have, Judge. If I can be excused.
Yes, you have a good day. You also, Ms. Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you, Counselor.
Position 16, Kevin Morrell.
I'm here, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Morrell. Are you able to activate your camera for the court? There you go. Mr. Morrell, do you have a private attorney, or would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender today?
No, sir.
No to each. You like to proceed pro se without the advice of counsel to regarding this battery charge?
Honestly, I have no idea which case this is.
Okay. So, Mr. Morrell, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We do have public defenders. Public defenders that are available to assist you today. You've been charged in case 18 CR 009175F with battery. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. What you're going to have the option to do today is, if you want to apply for a public defender, I'm happy to give you that opportunity. Otherwise, I'm happy to let you speak with the solicitor to give you their offer regarding this matter. If you're not happy with what they offer you, you can enter a not guilty plea. If you enter a not guilty plea, you can either have a bench trial, which will be before me in the not so distant future. If you request a jury trial, the case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. What would you like to do today?
I'll take the public defender, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to place in the chat how you need to apply for a public defender. If you will also put your contact information in the chat so that Ms. Gant can get in touch with you, and we will proceed from there. Thank you, Mr. Morrell.
All right, thank you.
Position 17, Shakhili Razmini. Ms. Gann, I have that Ms. Bianca Thomas at one point represented. Are you with me, Ms. Gann?
Your Honor, Ms. Gamp put in the chat that she had to step away from the computer, but she did have positions 18 or 17, 18, 22, and 24.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Riley.
You're welcome.
17, 18.
22 and 24.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 18, Robinique Rogers. We will hold for Ms. Gant's report. Position 19, Anthony Russell is in court with me. Good morning, Mr. Russell. I've already had a conversation with Mr. Haddad regarding your case. Mr. Russell, it's my understanding that he's requesting a jury trial. As such, the case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. You have a good day, sir. Yes. Position 20, LaDacia Smith. LaDacia Smith. Bench warrant will be granted. Position 21, Reginald Stovall. Mr. Stovall is in court with me, and he's represented by Mr. Haddad. I'll hold for Mr. Haddad's report, sir. All right, thank you. Position 22, Kiara Strong. We'll hold for Ms. Gant's report. Position 23, Jacob Taylor.
Will Kelvin on behalf of Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Taylor is also present. We have a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Mr. Kelbar. Good to see you.
Good to see you also, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. I have your paperwork here, so as soon as I get through the calendar, I'll go ahead and take the NOLO plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Position 24, Santrell Wood. Again, this is Ms. Gant's case, and we'll hold for her report. All right, so on the Zoom call, if you came in late or did not hear your name, please let me know. All right, sir, you're gonna have to unmute yourself so that and tell me what your name is.
My name is Tristan Joyner.
Joyner?
Yes, sir, Tristan Joyner.
All right, Mr. Joyner, let's see. Do you have a private attorney or would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender today?
Yes, sir. I think I had a public defender, I'm not sure, but
Would you?
I would like to see, yeah, I need a public defender.
Okay, so what I'm going to need for you to do, Mr. Joyner, is to put your contact information in the chat for me. And also in the chat is the beginning of how you need to go to apply for a public defender. So if you can begin that process, we'd appreciate it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else on Zoom that did not hear their name or that came in late? All right, what about in court? Anyone here come in late or did not hear their name? Yes, sir, stand up for me. What's your name?
Graham Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, let's see, would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender today to assist you with this charge?
Last time I came, but
Say it again,
the last time they said no.
that you didn't qualify? Okay, so let's see, Mr. Johnson, you've been charged in case 20 CR 000574F with battery family violence. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. Today, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. You're telling me that you did not qualify for a public defender. As such, I'm happy to let you speak with the solicitor today or give you an opportunity to seek a private attorney. Your case has already been reset on one occasion, so what would you like to do today?
She said 12 months on probation.
So you would like to get the advice to see what the solicitor is going to offer you for this matter?
A year. That's the last time I came and stuff, but they said 12 months on probation.
Okay, all right. So today, what would you like to do? Would you like to take that offer, or would you like, I'll have the solicitor put it on the record of what the offer is, or would you like to plead not guilty and have a bench trial or a jury trial?
I'm not going to take the offer, and I'll talk to you like this.
Okay, all right. So if you'll just have a seat, Mr. Johnson, I'll be with you, okay? And is this your case, Mr. Johnson's case?
It's my case, Your Honor. Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Let me go back to Mr. Kelbos. Anyone else in court? Names, I did not hear their names. So let's go ahead and take the no-low plea in Mr. Kelbos' case. Mr. Taylor, good morning again. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. I'm sorry, whose case is this with the solicitor?
This is my case, Your Honor, Sarita Githia.
Okay, you can proceed, Ms. Githia.
Okay. One. The state expects the evidence to show that on July 29th, 2017, in Fulton County, Mr. Jacob Taylor did intentionally cause substantial physical harm to the victim, Mr. Paul Nettles, by smashing bottles and drinking glasses in his face, and then proceeded to punch and kick the victim repeatedly in the face while he was on the ground. The offer is credit, time served, and no further contact with the victim, Paul Nettles, N as in Nancy, E-T-T-L-E-S.
Mr. Kelbaugh?
Your Honor, we'd like for you to accept the plea as negotiated. It's a favorable plea to Mr. Taylor. I will stipulate that there could possibly be a factual basis established at trial, but I would also just like to say, from the benefit of Mr. Taylor, that he does dispute the allegations, but based on obviously the fact that there could be something proven at trial and that it's a favorable resolution to him, he would just like to get this matter behind him. So we would, pardon me, ask that you accept the plea as negotiated.
Mr. Taylor, it's my understanding that you wish to plead no load to battery, substantial physical harm. Is that correct? You have to answer out loud for me.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading no load to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Understand.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead no load?
No, sir.
I will accept the no load plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anything further this morning, Mr. Kelbaugh?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you have a good day. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Mr. Taylor, you also have a good day.
You're ready. Take care.
Okay, is Ms. Gant still not with us? Mr. Haddad has not returned. Mr. Harris? Could you come up to the podium, please? Good morning again, Mr. Harris.
Good morning.
Judge
How you doing?
Morrow. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say put your hand up. It can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. It's my understanding that you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. You have been charged in case 20 CR 000438F with driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, reckless driving, driving under the influence of alcohol per se, failure to maintain lane, and vehicle to drive on the right side of the roadway. How would you like to plead to these charges today?
No.
Let me just say, you can ask to find out what the offer is from the solicitor. If you want to hire an attorney, I'll give you one additional opportunity to hire an attorney to represent you in this matter and reschedule you. Or you can plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, you have the right to have a bench trial or a jury trial. The bench trial would be before me sometime in the not so distant future. A jury trial would be, the case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Okay, so what would you like to do this morning?
Can I see what the solicitor has to offer?
Okay, and Ms. Riley, this is your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you put the offer on the record, please?
Certainly. This is a second in 10 years DUI. It would be 12 months to serve 3 days. The balance on probation, a $600 fine, 60 hours of community service, complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment, risk reduction, and to attend 2 victim impact panels.
Is there any credit for time served?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you understand what they're asking. They're asking for in addition to the rest, they're asking for 3 days in custody. What would you like to do, sir?
Can I do the 3 days? But I also need to notify my job and let them know.
Okay. If you want to take a plea, I'm certainly amenable to having you report to the jail at a certain time specific in the future.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if that's what you want, to do, I'm happy to let you do it. If you want to get an attorney to see if that's in your best interest, I'm happy to do that also. But it's up to you. What would you like to do?
I would like to get an attorney, but my financial state is not great right now.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if I reschedule you would come back and you probably still wouldn't get.
It depends on the time frame, but
So you tell me, Mr. Harris, what would you like for me to do?
I just gonna take the offer.
Okay. We'll have to give you the paperwork to go through and fill out this morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll get someone to get you the paperwork, and you'll have to go through it yourself and complete the paperwork. And once you do that, I'll get back with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Bolton, do we have that paperwork?
No, Your Honor, I will prepare it now and send it to Ms. Bolton.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Riley.
You're
All
welcome.
right. You can have a seat, Mr. Harris.
Yes, sir.
You can go back out now. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, if you'll come up to the podium, please. Again, Mr. Johnson, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow.
Morning.
You have been charged in case 20 CR 0000574F with battery family violence. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. I think I've already discussed with you that you do not qualify for the services of a public defender today. Would you like to get the offer on the matter if you're to plead guilty to it?
Because that last time when I was here, you said 12-month on probation and on plus on the community service.
Okay, so if that's what the offer is, I'll have Ms. Marshall's story put it on the record, and then I'll ask you what you want to do with it, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Marshall's story.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Johnson, the offer in this case is 12 months probation. You would have to complete a family violence intervention course, 40 hours of community service, and have no contact with Shakiria Swain.
I got a question, right? Is
Okay.
both party going to get charged or just me?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is both party going to get charged or just me?
It's my understanding at this point that you were the only party that was charged in this incident. Do you have some other information?
Nah. No.
Okay. Well, that currently is a state's offer.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Johnson, your options today, you can, I'm happy to give you the opportunity to hire an attorney to represent you in this matter. If you want to plead guilty, you have that option this morning. If you want to plead not guilty, I can either set you down for a bench trial or you can request a jury trial in the matter. What would you like to do?
Can you read me the offer again?
Say it again?
Can you read me the offer again? Because you said 12-month on probation,
Okay,
right?
yes, it's 12 months on probation, a family violence intervention program course. That course is going to take probably about 6 months. Isn't that right, Ms. Marshall Story?
That's correct, Your Honor. If Mr. Johnson is able to complete those classes in a timely manner, it is my understanding that if you miss a class or two, you will have to be reset to start again.
Okay.
All right, so, and then there's 40 hours of community service. And what was the other condition, Ms. Marshall Story?
No contact, no further contact with Shakiria Swain.
Okay.
Perfect.
So what would you like to do?
I plead guilty.
Okay, so if you'll have a seat, we'll get you the paperwork for you to go through and fill out, all right?
Your Honor, I'll need to fill that paperwork out, and I'm forwarding it to whom?
Ms. Bolton.
Okay, I'll take care of that now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's see. I believe that we have taken care of all the pro se people this morning. Ms. Gann is still not back with us. Mr. Haddad is not back with us. So we'll be in recess until someone comes back or we complete the plea paperwork. Thank you. Ms. Gant, you back with us?
Yes, Your Honor, I do apologize immensely. I had a health emergency to contend to.
No worries. It's not a problem, Ms. Gant. Let's see, where would you like to start? I know that you need to be placed into a breakout room with Ms. Riley on position number 1. Do you want to start there?
Well, I would like to at least provide the court with some updates for
Okay.
some of my cases. I believe we left off at Jaquavis Jones, position 17. Mr. Rasmini is in custody. And I believe the release date is November 27th, 28 or 38.
Okay, so you would,
I would like to speak with, because resetting it is not going to solve it. I would like pretrial for that case as well.
That is my case, Your Honor.
okay, so we'll have you pre-try that, Ms. Githia. And I also believe position 18, is that your case?
Yes, Your Honor. I see, is Mr. Rogers present?
I don't believe so.
Do not believe so. May we reset? There is no discovery in that case, Your Honor.
Okay, so September 14th work?
That works, Your Honor, for me.
Okay. Let's see, I believe that you also have,
Position 22.
I don't believe Ms. Strong is present either.
I was in contact with her earlier this week. So may we reset her trial? Reset. I do have discovery in that case. May we reset?
September 14th?
That works, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And I believe your final case is position 24, Santrell Wood.
Is he present?
I don't believe so.
Okay, if we may reset, Your Honor.
September 14th. Okay,
Yes, and Mr. Clopton is present, and I'm doing pretrial for the folk in custody, correct?
yes, I believe so.
And Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. I have returned the paperwork to Ms. Bolton for Mr. Harris. I'm not sure if you wanted me to speak with Ms. Gant first or take the plea first.
If you wouldn't mind, what would you like to do, Ms. Gant?
We can take the plea. Apparently, I do need to reach out to Mr. Joyner to assist with obtaining public defender, so I can do that while the plea progresses.
Okay, and let's see. And he's position number 12. Okay, all right, so why don't we do that? And Mr. Haddad has joined me back in court.
Can I, if I may make a quick announcement, Judge, position number 21, Reginald Stovall is present. We're requesting a jury trial in that case,
Okay,
and I can sign whatever paperwork that needs to be signed, Judge.
all right, so Mr. Stovall, your case will be returned to the division judge and you get notification of your next hearing date.
I think that should be.
Okay? Have a good day, sir.
Your Honor, I apologize since I was not here earlier. I'm not sure if anybody else
Okay.
did my services or not.
Let's see, have you spoken with, Mr. Clopton's here?
Okay, I'll
Yes.
stop them now.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, I believe Mr. Harris, position number 8, is present, and I believe he did not qualify for the public defender's office.
Yes, thank you. He's gonna take a plea today, Mr. Haddad.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Oh, he has to go through it. Okay. Your pen back there on the desk? It's gonna be a moment, Ms. Riley. Mr. Harris is gonna have to go through the paperwork, so.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you.
He's gonna have to also sign. Sorry.
You want him to sign it first? Mr. Johnson?
Yes, thank you. Just one. Do I have it? I signed everything that. Huh. Oh, okay, all right.
I have an announcement, Judge.
Okay,
On position number 3, we're requesting a bench trial on that case, Judge.
okay. That bench trial date is going to be October 26th.
All right, October 26th. And I'll sign whatever paperwork.
Okay.
Does the clerk's office, the Orca team have a correct address? It didn't bounce back the address. Hold on, I can. Mr. Compton, did you get the letter to you? Did you get the letter for court? Okay, all right, great. So.
Did you hear that, Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor. But I do not believe we have an address for Mr. Clopton.
Okay, and
I'm not sure why we would need his address, but.
we'll make sure we get his address before he leaves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, this is 1 second.
And we're gonna get his correct address?
I'm gonna get it from him in a
Okay.
second, Judge.
Okay.
I also want to let the court know that position number 5, Mr. Driver, came in a couple minutes ago. He's the young man right here on the first row. He did not qualify for the public defender's office the last time on the 18th of May, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Driver, if you'll come up to the podium, please. This is your case also, Ms. Riley, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Mr. Driver, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the Orca C status conference calendar. Let me just inform you first, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. It's my understanding that you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. You have been charged in case 20 CR 000333F with driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and failure to maintain lane or improper lane change. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. You have the option this morning. I believe that I've already given you the opportunity to obtain counsel. I'm happy to let the solicitor put on the record this morning what the offer is in this case if you wish to plead guilty to it. If you wish to plead not guilty, you can request a bench trial, which will be before me in the not so distant future. If you request a jury trial, your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. What would you like to do today, sir?
Can y'all give me the stipulations again?
You want the
What I'm facing?
okay. Ms. Riley, would you mind putting on the record the state's offer?
Certainly, Your Honor. It would be a plea of guilty to the DUI less safe. It would be 12 months to serve 24 hours in custody, the balance probated, a $300 fine, 40 hours of community service. You would complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and any treatment that is recommended, risk reduction, and to attend one victim impact panel. The failure to maintain lane would be null pros or dismissed.
Is there any credit for time served?
Not that I am aware of, Your Honor. I do not know if it was 2018, he should have been arrested upon, arrested at the time of the offense. So if he did serve any time, there would be credit for that time.
Okay, you understand the offer, Mr. Driver?
Yes.
Okay, so what they are requesting is not only probation, but if you have not served any time, they're asking for 24 hours in custody.
Okay. Well, I did go to jail that day, but I had to bond out. I don't know if that counts as served time or not.
Okay, we'd have to verify that. And if you have served time, then you would get credit for that time served.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to plead guilty to it because I ain't got no counseling.
Okay. Ms. Riley, I need to verify if he served time or not. I think that would make a difference for me if I was going to take a plea or not. So
certainly.
I think that I want to reset this for a plea calendar so that we can verify whether or not he has served time, and if so, give him that credit so that he does not have to spend any time in custody. And it would also give us the opportunity to get the paperwork completed.
Or if you want, Your Honor, I can take a look to see if I see it in Odyssey
Okay.
Before, because I would just prefer to send him the paperwork now since he's
Okay,
here.
that's fine.
Okay,
So if you can do that for us.
certainly. Just give me a few moments. Thank you.
Does it make a difference to you, Mr. Driver? If you do get credit for time served or not, would you like to take a
Yeah.
plea regardless?
It would make a difference for me because I just started my job and I really don't have the time to take off. And then there's cases
No, I
almost 5
understand.
some years ago. So
Right.
I don't
And we
even really
could,
remember.
given that it's only 24 hours, we could work around your schedule as far as when you'd like to report to custody, okay?
All right.
Right, so if you'll just have a seat for me for a minute, we'll be back with you. Any announcement, Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding position 12, Mr. Tristan Joyner, he qualifies for the services of the public defender. And I like pretrial.
And, is that your case, Ms. Marshall Story? Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and do that now since we're, do you have any other announcements, Ms. Gant?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and put you into a breakout room with Ms. Marshall Story. And I believe that maybe you all could do all of the cases that you want pre-tried with Ms. Marshall Story at the same time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You're on mute, Ms. Marshall Story, but I take it that you're saying yes. Okay. All right. So if we can put Ms. Marshall Story and Ms. Gant into a breakout room, please. Yes.
With the court's permission, I may just walk back and check in on Zoom. I don't think I'm needed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think everything else is.
So everyone else is taken care of in court that are your cases?
Either do not qualify. I'm not sure if the last gentleman in the back.
Okay, no, I'm taking a plea also.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you.
Unless court, I'd be happy to stay here, but.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'll be right back, Judge.
Okay.
And Your Honor, if there's any complications for this afternoon, I'm in the office, but I do believe everything got
Okay,
resolved. So
yes, I believe
but
so.
if there's
Also.
a problem, let me know.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
You can email to me if that works better. Well, whatever, I'll be happy to accommodate.
Can you verify all those cases? I know he asked for a bench trial. He already left.
Yeah, yes.
I'll email you the case.
And sign and everything, okay.
I mean, or you can just take it with you.
Huh?
You want to take it with you?
Sure, okay.
Yeah, because I have to email you some more stuff.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time, Your Honor. I was able to look in Odyssey, but I was not able to verify. They do not have that Mr. Driver was fingerprinted in. So I cannot verify that he was arrested or taken to jail on this offense. However, I am willing, due to it being a first offense and him pleading today, to offer credit for time served for the 24 hours.
Okay, they're not requesting any jail time, Mr. Driver. Does that suit you?
Oh, yes, that's fine with me.
Okay, would you still like to enter a plea of guilty today?
Yeah, the only problem that I was having is I wanted to ask if I could break up the payment, some kind of way.
Oh, you'll be on probation, so they take payments. You'll work with the probation department as far as payment goes.
And you said I'll be on probation for 12 months?
You'll be on probation for 12 months. What I normally do is that probation has fees associated with it. I normally waive the fees for you to help you get and stay on your feet. But you'll be on probation for the entire 12 months. And it's going to take you at least 6 months or so to complete the family violence intervention program. Okay, so what would you like to do today?
I plead guilty.
Okay, so he would like to plead guilty, Ms. Riley, so if you'll get that paperwork together for us.
Certainly, Your Honor, give me just a few moments.
Thank you. Was there a question, Ms. Redden?
Yes, Your Honor. Once I gave him the plea paperwork, he has some additional questions that he would like to address before.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, Mr. Harris.
Yes, sir. First question is, I'm not getting credit for time served when I said 39 hours before I burned it out.
Okay, let me check with Ms. Riley when she comes back regarding
That's the
that.
first question. And the second question is, if I take the 72 hours, will that eliminate my probation?
No, they're asking for, and did you hear the question, Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor. I can certainly take a look. However, I do believe that the sheriff will calculate time. So any time that he did serve should be credited towards the 72 hours, but I will certainly take a look.
Okay, and the probation is in addition to the time served, so you'll be on probation for that 12 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are your other?
So it's not either or?
No, it's both.
Okay. Yes, sir. But I will be credited for the time until I burned it out of
If you
jail, right?
serve time,
Yes,
you'll
sir.
be credited for the time served.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. Any other
That
questions?
was the other two questions.
Okay, so we're looking into whether or not that you've already have credit for time serving.
Yes, sir. I just want to have a fair deal if I'm going to plead out to
No,
it.
I understand. I certainly understand that. I'd want to do the same.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything further?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
We'll be with you.
Yes, sir.
You need to go circle it. Okay.
Thank you for the time, Your Honor. As for Mr. Harris, it appears that he was picked up on a warrant for probation violation, probably because of this arrest on April 2nd of 2018, which is about a month after this arrest. He did serve 21 days at that time. So I would be willing to give him credit for the 3 days.
You understand that, Mr. Harris? Yes. Mr. Harris, thank you. So you'll get credit for that time served, so there'll be no jail time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Riley. Have we already gotten him that paperwork? No.
And Your Honor, I have no objection to the court making that correction with my initials. And Your Honor, would you like for me to finish the paperwork for Mr. Driver or take the plea for Mr. Harris first?
We still need to have Mr. Harris complete the paperwork.
Oh, understood. Okay, I'll work on the paperwork for Mr. Driver. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Yes. Okay, thank you. Come on up, Mr. Johnson. Yes, what would you like to tell me?
Well, I mean, but is it too late, like, to plead not guilty?
No, it's not too late. So
Okay,
if you don't want to, if you don't want
sorry about that.
no, if you don't want to plead today, that's fine with the court. What would you like to do?
I would like to talk to a lawyer first.
Okay, so do you want me to reset you for this calendar or? Because
But like for next,
okay, I know, I think that I've already reset you one time. So if you want to plead not guilty, I'm happy to give you the opportunity to get a lawyer, but I'm either going to place you on a bench trial calendar, which will be before me sometime in the future, or a jury trial calendar, which will be before some other judge, so you can have a jury trial.
I would say, but I would say like a bench, cause like cause like the person that me and her had the case, that person not even here.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but if you request a bench trial, then the state would have to present evidence, or a jury trial. The state would have to present evidence against you. That evidence might consist of the person that's accusing you. I would imagine that it would be. And that person would be subpoenaed to be here. So, so then the person would be here. So.
Yeah, because like, has she even been charged or not?
Okay, all right. So what would you like to do? Would you like to have a bench trial in front of me, or would you like to have a jury trial in front of another judge?
I would like to have a bench trial.
Okay.
You and stuff. Cause that's going to affect my record, right?
Okay, yeah, most definitely. So I'm happy to give you the opportunity to speak with a lawyer regarding this.
Yeah.
And if you come back before me, and the person's here, then you can always enter a guilty plea at that time. Okay,
So,
Ms. Riley, I'm sorry, I was speaking. Mr. Johnson wants to rescind, does not want to plead guilty today.
Yes, Your Honor, and this is Ms. Marshall Story's case.
Oh, okay. And he's requesting a bench trial.
Yes, Your Honor, I can send her an email to let her know.
Okay. So that bench trial date, Mr. Johnson, is going to be on October 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to be the same offer?
Say it again?
Is it going to be the same? So if I lose the bench trial, but is it going to be like that's the same thing?
I can't tell you that or not, because this is what they're offering at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'd be found guilty or if you wouldn't be, but I'm sure that they would make a recommendation of something that's not this offer. But ultimately, it's up to me as to what I'm going to sentence you to. Okay. So they will make a recommendation after a bench trial. But once you get here for a bench trial, and if you think it's not favorable for you to go forward, you may still be able to enter this plea. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the very least, you'll be able to have an attorney speak with you regarding this matter if that's something you choose to do.
Okay.
Okay, is that what you want to do?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's not a problem, Mr. Johnson. So we are going to make sure that we have all of your correct information so that we make sure you get a notice. The bench trial is going to be on October 26th. So I'm telling you that here today, but you'll get a notice of that. If you have any evidence, if you don't have an attorney and you have any evidence that you want to present, you can present evidence also. So if you have any witnesses that you want to put before me, you have the right to testify on your own behalf, and you have the absolute right to remain silent, which means that you don't have to testify yourself. But if you have any witnesses that you want to present, you certainly can do that, and you have the opportunity to cross-examine any witnesses that the state presents. Okay. All right. So that's what you want to do.
Yes, please.
All right. Very good. So let's
Your
make
Honor,
sure. Yes, Miss.
I'm sorry, if I could, if Mr. Johnson could provide a phone number in case Ms. Marshall Story needs to contact him.
Okay. We'll get. Can you give us your phone number?
Yeah, it's on 478.
We'll write it down and we'll send it to this to Miss Riley or Miss Marshall Story. And we want to make sure that we get make sure we have your correct mailing address also and your correct email. We already have that. It's ready. Okay. All right. All right. Any other questions for me?
No.
Okay. You have a good day, and I'll see you back in October.
And Judge Morrow, what position was Mr. Johnson?
He was position number 11.
11, thank you. And the first name?
Abraham.
Thank you. And if Ms. Bolton or Ms. Redden could give me his information in the chat so I can send that to Ms. Marshall Story.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
And if you will just destroy that for me. You don't have a shredder. I'm sure you were probably saying I could do that myself. there an announcement, Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding position 1, I would ask that that case be reset to the next status calendar if there are no objections.
Okay, so that's September 14th reset, okay?
Position Position 12, Joiner, we are unable to resolve this case today. We need more information, particularly about the cross defendant, to Tandika Crowder. So I would ask that this case be reset to the next status conference.
Okay, that's September 12th also. I mean, September 14th, excuse me. Okay,
And position 13, again, a reset to the next status conference calendar.
that's also September 14th. Okay,
Well, Your Honor, if I may, and Ms. Gant, again, feel free to chime in. The defendant is incarcerated and the release date is 2026. I don't know that we've had a case thus far in Orca where we have attempted to take a plea or resolve a matter where the defendant has been incarcerated. Can the court provide any additional assistance on how to best handle this matter?
let me get with and you're right, Ms. Marshall Story, we don't normally handle cases that are in custody. Let me get with the case managers and see what we can do with regard to people that are in custody. It's possible that we could put them on one of our other calendars, whether it's one of my state all-purpose calendars or even possibly an SEA calendar to resolve the matter of that. And I know that Ms. Gant often works those calendars with me, so we could possibly work it around your schedules.
Ms. Gant, are you amenable if, again, your client is willing to resolve the case? I'm sure we can work something out that is mutually beneficial, but no need for it to continue on the Orca calendar when he won't be produced.
Yes, and that is the part and parcel, the request for the reset to determine how best to resolve it. So I certainly am amenable to other options as well.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we give Ms. Gant the opportunity to speak with him? He may not want to in our plea regardless. Give her the opportunity to speak with him. We'll reset it for September 14th. By that time, she should have had the opportunity to ascertain what his wishes are. If he does wish to enter a plea, then we'll find some type of way to get that accomplished. Is that satisfactory with you, Ms. Marshall Story?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. We just needed the court's assistance, and hopefully we can try and resolve this matter.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's see, Ms. Gant, I think that there are two other people that were requesting your assistance. And I don't know if you know position 16 and position 17. Is that right?
Actually, position 17 is in custody, Your Honor.
Okay, so we want to do the same thing with position 17 that we're doing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And
September 14th. And have you spoken with position 16?
no, Your Honor, I will take care of that after the last two announcements, or the last three announcements.
Okay, and what are?
Well, position 18 has been reset, so no announcement there. And Kiara Strong, position 22 has been reset, and 24 has been reset. So then the court's indulgence, I will speak to Mr. Morrell. And I
Okay.
do apologize, Your Honor.
No,
for-
you're doing the best you can do, Ms. Gann. I understand, so it's not a problem. Okay, so I'll hold for your announcement on that, and we'll go ahead and take these other pleas. Okay, let's start with Mr. Harris.
Your Honor, what position is that?
Mr. Position number 8. I believe that's Ms. Riley's case. And
Yes, Your Honor.
we go ahead and get them the information that they're gonna need to report to probation. Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Harris, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Riley?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would expect the evidence to show that on March 3rd, 2018, officers observed Mr. Harris in the area of 56 Edgewood Avenue in Fulton County, driving recklessly, failing to maintain his lane, and not driving his vehicle on the right side of the roadway. Made a traffic stop of Mr. Harris and smelled the odor of alcohol. A DUI investigation ensued, to which they found Mr. Harris to be under the influence of alcohol. The state's recommendation, as this is a second in 10 years DUI, would be 12 months to serve 3 days, credit for time served upon serving 21 days on a probation violation, the balance on probation, a $600 fine, 60 hours of community service. He is to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and any treatment that is recommended, to do a risk reduction course, and attend 2 victim impact panels.
Is that your understanding of the recommendation, Mr. Harris?
Yes.
It's my understanding that you do wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence less safe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
You have been given the plea sheet. Were you able to go through that sheet line by line?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that if you are on probation, that your probation could be affected by this plea?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you're not a United States citizen, that your status could be affected by this plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you give this plea freely and voluntarily
Yes, sir.
with full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your plea and the negotiation of it. The sentence will be 12 months to serve, 3 days, credit for time served that you've done, balance probated, a $600 fine, 60 hours of community service, alcohol, I'm sorry, yes, 60 hours of community service, alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment, a risk reduction, and 2 VIP. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet.
Yes,
You're
sir.
going to have to be on probation the entire time. Let me just let you know that since you're going to be on probation the entire time, sometimes people do have times when they can't get things done.
Yes, sir.
Please go to make sure that you make all of your probation appointments.
Yes, sir.
Even if something comes up, if you talk to people to let them know up front that something's going on with you,
Yes,
they're
sir.
willing to work with you. But you just can't not show up and fall off. Then they're going to put a probation warrant out for you, and we don't want that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you do run into any types of troubles, speak with somebody regarding that. Okay. All right. You have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. We're going to get you where you need to report to probation, and then you have a good day, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome. Any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right.
Mr. Driver?
Yes.
Mr. Driver, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Marshall Story?
Your Honor, this is my case as
Oh,
well.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Ms.
Thank you.
Rodriguez.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The state would expect the evidence to show that on February 10th, 2018, officers were in the area of 7585, Highway 7585, on the interstate in Fulton County, and observed Mr. Driver's vehicle to be weaving in and out of his lane of travel and unable to maintain a lane of travel. The officer initiated a traffic stop for which he, upon first observations of Mr. Driver, noticed that his eyes were bloodshot and watery, and he could smell the strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath. He asked Mr. Driver to participate in voluntary field sobriety tests, for which he saw several clues regarding the horizontal gaze, nystagmus, walk and turn, and one-leg stand. He asked Mr. Driver if he or how much he had to drink. And Mr. Driver stated that he had approximately 4 drinks, with his last drink being at last call at the bar that he had just left. An officer initiated an arrest based on those observations. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 24 hours credit for the time served upon arrest, the balance on probation, a $300 fine, 40 hours of community service. He is to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and follow any treatment that is recommended, a risk reduction course, and attend 1 victim impact panel. And the failure to maintain lane has been no cost.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Driver?
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you.
Was that your understanding of the recommendation from the state?
Yes,
Okay, and that's what you want to accept?
I'll accept it, yes.
Okay. So it's my understanding, Mr. Driver, that you wish to plead guilty to 1 count of DUI less safe. Is that correct?
Yes,
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this
No.
morning?
no,
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
yes,
Did you have the opportunity to go through the plea statement line by line?
yes,
Has anyone coerced you to plead guilty?
no,
Did you give your plea freely and voluntarily with a full understanding of the charge against you?
yes,
I will accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Driver. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet. You're going to have to be on probation the entire time. And as I stated to the last gentleman, people often run into hard times for some reason or another. But if you will make sure that you continue to report to probation and just don't go missing, people are willing to work with you if they understand that something's going on. But if you just don't show up, then they'll have no other alternative but to put out a probation warrant for you. So I encourage you to just make sure that you keep in contact with probation during the time that you're on probation, okay?
okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, so we're gonna get you where you need to, how to get in touch with probation, and after that, you're free to go, okay?
And she already got.
Okay, okay, you've already got that. All right, you have a good day, sir.
it. So I do have a statement though, about that case.
Okay, hold on, hold on. You've already taken.
I know, and I'm
Mr.
still gonna
Scott.
take my plea.
And just let me tell you, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can't be used against you. You've already taken the plea, but if you do want to say something with that admonition, I'm happy to hear whatever you have to say.
I was just gonna say a lot of that stuff, I remember the pullover and some of that stuff was falsified.
Okay.
So I already took the plea, so I understand what I'm under. I just, when I heard it, I was like, okay.
Okay. All right. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you. So as of this moment, I'm free to go though.
Okay, so I think that we're holding on Ms. Gant for position 16, and then I think that will complete the calendar.
Your Honor, are we able to revisit position number 11? I sent a message to Ms. Bolton.
I'm doing paperwork. I'll get to it.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Morrell does not qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office.
Okay. Mr. Morrell. Is he with us on the Zoom call?
He previously indicated he wasn't sure what was going on, so he was on the Zoom call.
Yes, and
This
Your Honor, I
morning.
let him know that he needed to stay on for further instructions, so I will give him a call back.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Johnson, are you waiting for something from the court?
She said she's gonna hand me like a paperwork.
Okay, all right.
Judge Morrow,
Yes, Ms. Gant.
Mr. Morrell should be joining momentarily.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Bolton, are you ready to go over the calendar?
Judge Morrow, before we do that, can we revisit position number 11?
Yes, and let me speak with Mr. Morales while he's here. All right, Mr. Morel, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. It's my understanding that you sought to qualify for the public defender, but do not qualify. You have been charged in case 18 CR 009175F with battery. This charge carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. What you can do this morning, if you would like to hear what the recommendation is from the solicitor, I'm happy to have her put it on the record. If once you hear what the recommendation is, you can either accept the recommendation or you can ask for either plead not guilty and ask for either a bench trial, which will be before me sometime in the near future, or a jury trial. If you request a jury trial, the case will be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. I'm also will be willing or happy to let you seek the advice of an attorney and reschedule you for another time if that's what you seek. What would you like to do this morning, Mr. Morrell?
I would like to hear the recommendation first, and then I'll probably seek out for my own attorney, but.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Ms. Marshall Story, is this your case?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. There is some additional information I must look into, but I do want to relay that apparently there was an offer that was submitted back in May of 2019 for the defendant to complete an anger management evaluation through AACS. And the email referral was sent to the defendant's mother. And apparently nothing has happened since then. This is when the case was in front of the division judge. There is an FTA listed for July 7th of 2019, along with a bond forfeiture calendar that was held on 11/20/2019. And a status conference calendar on August 25th, 2021. I'm not sure if the defendant actually was at that calendar call or not. Because of the pandemic, I would like to give that same offer and allow him to avail himself of that. What I'm not sure of is if the original intention was that he plead guilty to the battery and then complete these 2 classes, and that would satisfy the state's recommendation. So at this point, with the defendant not having counsel, is he trying to obtain counsel, or do I need to follow up on this more specifically myself?
I think it would be helpful for Mr. Morrell to know whether or not this is going to be a dismissal upon him completing the classes, or if it's going to be a guilty plea with the sentence being those 2 classes. That would make a difference if it were me.
Yes, no, I'm sure that it would. Let me just take one more look. I did try and reach out to ascertain that information myself, but I wasn't able to do that with
I
the
understand, Ms.
office
Marshall.
turnover.
Right, Ms. Marshall Story, you don't have to, you're fine. Okay, no worries. Mr. Morrell, do you understand what Ms. Marshall Story is saying?
Yeah, so basically I could take the anger management classes, and would that be, I didn't understand if it would be a dismissal or would it still be on my record?
What
Right.
I can say is it would either be a dismissal or we would reduce the charge to perhaps a disorderly conduct. Taking into account that I can't speak to the original attorney that made that recommendation to you. Is that a recommendation that you remember?
Yes. And the court date in 2019, you're correct.
Okay. All right, well, if you can get that taken care of, I'm not able to determine at this point in time whether that would be a plea to a disorderly conduct or it would be a dismissal. But if you want to move forward, knowing and understanding that, then that would be the offer at this point.
I could live with that offer.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't, just to give Ms. Marshall Story some time to find out exactly what the offer is, whether it's one way or the other. If we reset this till the next calendar, then it will give her that opportunity and we can move forward then. Is that acceptable to everyone, or how would you like to proceed?
Well, it's acceptable to me, Your Honor, but I doubt that the 2 anger management classes would be going anywhere. So if the defendant, I'm sorry, if Mr. Morrell is interested in going ahead and moving forward with those classes, then the state will definitely do its best to provide a fair and proper and just recommendation for what he would plead to, if anything.
Okay, so if you, basically, but if we reschedule it and he does those classes, then one way or another, he'd be done.
Yes.
Okay, and are you able to speak with Mr. Morrell and let him know where he can get that done?
Well, I haven't really had to do that previously. Many people have just gone online and they always seem to find that same anger management course. But if that's something that Mr. Morrell believes he needs my assistance with, I can do that.
Okay, Mr. Morrell, you think you can find those courses online yourself, or would you like the assistance of Ms. Marshall Story?
I'm pretty sure I can find that online for myself.
Okay, all right, so you go ahead and you do that. I'm gonna reschedule this till September 14th. Go ahead and get those classes done. And when you come back in September, one way or another, you'll be done with this, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And make sure that you get documentation that you've done the class, okay? Whatever documentation it's provided. And if you'll get that, Ms. Marshall Story, could you?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm going to put my email in the chat to Mr. Morrell.
Okay, thank you. And if you'll get that documentation to Ms. Marshall Story before September 14th, it'll be much quicker for us, okay?
All right, I can be dismissed.
As soon as you get her email address.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Morrell. Yes. And is Ms. Gant back with us? Ms. Marshall Story, you wanted to address something?
Yes, Your Honor, if we could address position number 11. I received information that the defendant decided not to avail himself of the offer. And I just went back and did some additional look through Odyssey, and he is correct. There is a case with the victim who was also arrested for the same charges. And she has a, toggling between screens. She has a case that is on August, I'm sorry, 1 second. Yes, August the 17th. That is on your or a Orca final plea calendar. Is it possible to have, before sending this to bench trial status, to have both of those cases put on for August the 17th? And I know there won't be much I can do in between, since no one at this point, from my understanding, is represented by counsel, but try and at least come up with a plea offer that both parties, since they are both charged pretty much with the same offense, that we can try and work through. And if you need the name of the co-defendant, her name is Your Honor, Shakiria, Shakiria, Swain, Swain. And she is on an Orca final plea calendar for August the 17th. And her case number is 20 CR 000 571F.
Okay, let's see, can we have,
Judge, I apologize. My video is not working. This is your dad. I believe, Ms. Swain, the name sounds familiar. I think that's my case, if I'm not mistaken, and I can double check and apologize. I don't know what happened to my video.
It is, Your Honor.
okay, I'm being told that it is, Mr. Dunn.
Oh, okay. For whatever reason, I can't see myself. Anyway.
No, it is your case, not
Okay,
that we
all
can
right,
see
great.
you.
Okay. So I'll be there obviously on the 17th. I mean, you know, that's gonna be I don't know. I'll talk to Ms. Marshall's story, at least on my clients. See what the state is willing to do.
Go ahead.
Was it set for a bench trial? I'm trying to remember. I don't.
Not your case, Attorney Haddad. She was set for a final plea calendar, but in my absence, apparently the defendant was going, the co-defendant was going to take a plea and decided not to, and that case was set down for a bench trial. And in just looking at the notes, he mentioned that would she be charged with the same offense? And I had to go back and look, and I was able to find that, yes, in fact, the victim alleged victim on this case was also charged with the same charges as the defendant who was on this calendar. So just in the interest of fairness, I thought that we should try to get them both on the same calendar and see what we could try and figure out. Of course, it's up to the court how you would like to proceed.
Mr. Johnson just left the courtroom not too long ago, so I guess we could reach out to him to ask him if he wants to come in on August 17th. And if he does, we'll place him on that calendar. If he doesn't, then we will keep it on the bench trial calendar, but we'll let you all know one way or another.
No, that's fine, Your Honor. I would say we can move the other case, but I just don't know how we work out the two cases at the same time without having them on different calendars.
And the other calendar's at 1:30 as opposed to, to the 9 o'clock calendar. So they would, so everyone would possibly have to wait around till 1:30, but whatever your pleasure is. I mean, we can try to get Mr. Johnson in on the 17th. Is that all right, Ms. Bolton?
Yes, just to be clear, the 17th they have already been mailed out, so this will be an add-on. So I just want everyone on the call to be clear that this will be an add-on case if he's able to come in on the 17th.
Okay. Did y'all hear that?
Yes, I did. And Attorney Haddad, if we can have a conversation and see what we can try to figure out, I'm sure that will be helpful to everyone.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. So if he's amenable to it, we'll have an add-on calendar on the 17th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. No, thank you, Ms. Marshall-Story. And I believe that completes the calendar. So as soon as Ms. Bolton is ready, we'll go over the calendar for today. Here you go, Mr. Haddad. We can see you now.
I had to reset something, so, and it was so hot. I apologize for not wearing a jacket yet.
Good. Hey, Mr. Jordan.
Okay, position one, can everyone hear me? Everyone can hear?
Yes.
Barely. I can barely hear you.
Turn the mic away from me.
It works. Just
All right, I'll just make sure. Position one, reset 9/14. Position two, bench warrant. Position three, bench trial 10/26. Position four, jury trial reset. Position five, plea. Position six, bench warrant. Position seven, bench warrant. Position eight, plea. Position 9, bench warrant. Position 10, reset with the companion case 9/14. Position 11, so possible reset for 8/17. Position 12, reset 9/14. Position 13, reset 9/14. Position 14, bench warrant. Position 15, reset 9/14.
Ms. Bolton, can you just slow down just a
I'm
little bit?
sorry.
Just a little bit.
My
Thank
apologies.
you.
Okay, you want me to start over from position 10?
It won't hurt me if nobody
Okay.
else minds.
I'm sorry. Position 10, reset 9/14 with companion case. Position 11, possible reset for 8/17. Position 12, reset 9/14. Position 13, reset 9/14. Position 14, bench warrant. Position 15, reset 9/14. Position 16, reset 9/14. Position 17, reset 9/14. Position 18, reset 9/14. Position 19 is a jury trial request. Position 20, bench warrant. 21, jury trial. 22, reset 9/14. 23, plea. And 24, reset 9/14.
Thank you.
I will contact position 11 in a moment and just verify whether or not we're gonna go forward with the 8/17. But again, please be mindful that it will be an add-on calendar sent out today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anything further for the 9 o'clock calendar? And I believe that the 11:30 calendar and the 1:30 calendar, that all of those cases have been resolved, so. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
right.
Thank
Well,
you.
have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Same
Peace.
to you, sir.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.